Hello everyone, I thought I would have another look at my Henry Hound because soon it will be up for sale on my Facebook page. I'll put a link below the video. So if you want to buy this and you live in the UK, you'll be able to offer me an amount of money. I don't know, I haven't got a price for this, I can't think what I'd want for it, so it'll be open to offers this time. One proviso though, if you do live in the UK, it won't work in the UK unless you've got a step-down transformer because it's a 110 volt version. But if you've got one of those adapters or you've got the know-how to change it to a UK spec, put a new motor in, then you know it'll be a nice addition to your collection because I got this brand new and have barely used it. So we'll quickly unbox. That's the standard carpet and floor nozzle. Look at that lovely metal base plate. There's a little adapter piece that you need to connect the non-powered tools to the hose. Here we have the turbo electric head in Henry Hound green. We've also got of course, the electric hose. One electric wand, a long electric wand, and one shorter electric wand. Oh, crikey, I'll even supply, folks. I know they're not the HEPA flow, but they are genuine pneumatic paper bags. NVM 1C/2. But yeah, I would use this with the new HEPA flow bags, but I'll keep those in the box. What's this? Hang on. Oh yeah, that's the, whoops. That's the small tools, of course, standard set of small tools you get. And then we've got him, oh, he's very well wrapped up. He has been in my garage a while. Not only was the box wrapped up, look, I hope you can breathe in there, Henry. Here he is, looking just as good as he did when I unboxed him 7 years ago. I also did a big mess test video, which you can have a look at if you want to. But I won't be doing a big mess test today. I will put a bit of dirt down for Henry because he must be quite hungry after being in his box for that long. But yeah, he looks just as good. I noticed this slight mark here just above his wheel, but that was on him when I first unboxed him. It's just a little bit of a mark on the plastic, a bit of a stress mark, but it's fine, isn't it? You just have a little defect, but you still suck well. Well, I'm assuming you will. When I plug you in, you should work fine. I'll also do a sealed suction test on this Henry Hound because I don't think I had my suction gauge when I first unboxed him, so it'll be interesting to see. I think he's got a 1200 watt motor, so he's old school. We'll date him and everything, and we'll show the rating sticker. If I didn't show it, I probably showed it 7 years ago, but for those of you that didn't see it, you can see it again. Now this one has Nacecare written on the box. Now Nacecare are a company that import pneumatic cleaners into the USA and possibly Canada. And we can tell it's a Nacecare one because of this high visi cord. And as you can see, we've got an American plug. Made in Britain. Sticker here on the back. And again it says Nacecare Solutions Toronto, Canada. So I'm not sure why these were available in the UK. As I said, I bought it from eBay 7+ years ago. We've got the single, whoops, sorry about that. The single old style push button on off switch, so that makes him a bit different. We've got 2 exhaust vents either side instead of one in the middle as current models have. What else have we got on you, Henry Hound? Of course we've got the power takeoff socket. That's 24 volts 25 watts it says on it. We'll take his hat off, his bowler hat. I think I need to put a bag in. That's the underside. That's what it looks like. They're a bit differently shaped nowadays, aren't they? Quite a hefty, heavy motor. Oh, there's a little bit of, ooh, well that's from the big mess test, look. Can't really wash this. This will be the filter that's got the carbon layer. I'll see if I can vacuum that off, or maybe a bit of SIBO Duo powder on that. It's just slightly marked, not too bad. It's all shiny and clean inside. I'll pop a new bag in. We've got a rating, not a rating. We've got a date wheel in here. It says it's pointing to number 307. So I think this is 2007. I don't know if 3 is March or week 3, but it's definitely, well, this part's definitely from 2007. I think the cleaner will be as well. So we'll pop the bag in. So even the new HEPA flow bags fit this older Henry. All the new tools you can buy from myhenry.com to fit the domestic Henry and Hetty ranges will also fit this older model. Not like some companies that seem to change the tool fittings every time they bring out a new model, so they're not compatible, they're not backwards compatible. I wonder who does that, Mr. Dyson. Right, pop the filter back. Do not wash, it says on it. I know many people do, but I'm not going to wash it. Right, because, yeah, there's no, you can put, with this generation of Henrys, you could put his hat on back to front, but that will never do. We just have to try and line up his name with his eyes. Yep, so we'll have a look at the rating sticker first, quick look at the turbo electric head, and then we'll plug him in using my step-down transformer and we'll switch him on. This Henry Hound operates on 120 volts, 60 Hz, 1200 watt max, Pneumatic International Limited, input with electric nozzle 950 watts, 9 amps. He's model HHR200. He's double insulated and the serial number is 0711116 which does make this Henry Hound a 2007 model. I did own a UK version of Henry Hound from brand new. I bought from Index catalogue stores back in the day. I think it was probably from the last Index catalogue. I can't remember what year Index closed. I used to work for Littlewoods, which owned Index. And when our Littlewood store in York was being refurbished, they closed it for a few weeks. And we had to go and work at Index down the road, which I didn't mind. It was a bit of a change. But of course, working in Index meant I could have a look at what they had. And obviously, when I saw this, I got my staff discount as well. Well, not this particular one, because the original one I had, he got sold long ago, long before I was on YouTube. I don't think YouTube existed back then. Okay, so we've got his mains cable. Oh, there's no instruction book. I wonder where that is. Perhaps there wasn't one in. I'll have to go and check back at my original unboxing video. So this 2-pin socket plug won't fit into my 3-pin socket, obviously. And even if it could, I don't think you'd be very happy with 230 volts up here when you should only have 120. So I've got, well, this is a different one. I've got 2 of these now. This is a newer one. One of these I keep at my mum's, so I can use any of my American cleaners there if I go and stop for a while. So I thought I'd get this other one. So you can get these on Amazon. And this is a higher rating. I think this is up to 2000 watts, I believe. Can't remember. I think it was. Anyway, I need to plug it in with my 3-pin plug. And then we can plug Henry Hound into one of the sockets. Yeah, so here we've got 210 volt sockets, but also we've got 230 volt standard 3-pin ones. On off switch, of course, and a power light. So we can plug in Henry, doesn't matter which way. This is only a 2-pin, he's not a grounded version, just 2 pins. Okay, I'll plug this in and we can try out Henry Hound for the first time in 7 years. Okie dokie, fingers crossed. He sounds very good. If you notice any sort of marks on the carpet, it's not because I haven't vacuumed, but there's a couple of black marks I noticed in my last video I was filming. So I've just got a bit of SIBO Duo powder drying. By the time I use Henry Hound, I'll pick that powder up. It'll have dried by then. So yes, pretty good. We'll get me suction gauge. See if it's any more powerful. I think they might be a little bit more powerful, the older versions. So we've got the power hose. Now the good thing about Henry Hound and the Henry Turbo Electric and all the other pneumatic cleaners I've got that also have a turbo electric head, I've got a few models. What's good about those is they work without the electric hose. So if you wanted to connect a regular Henry hose, you can do, or one of those extra long ones. You know, you can get really long hoses, 5 meter, 10 meter, or the ones that stretch. You can fit them because, as you saw, he still works. So best of both worlds really. You can fit a lighter hose to use Henry in the car for your stairs, all your nooks and crannies, cleaning up high, and then for deep cleaning your carpets, you can add the electric hose with the turbo electric head. So on it goes. It's a bayonet fitting, but we still have the screw threads on Henry's nose. So as I said, both hoses will fit. We'll pop that in like so, and hopefully there's no reason why it shouldn't work. It's a nice long hose, this. I think we should be able to connect the turbo electric head directly. So you can see the handle's a bit different to a standard Henry. Well, it's metal, isn't it, on a standard Henry? So this is all plastic. It incorporates an on-off switch for the power head, as well as a vent you can open to reduce the suction. So I'll start with the power head off and then I'll switch on. Yep, so that's fine and dandy. I've never tried this. I don't think I've tried this sort of head on my new carpet. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yep, that's hunky-dory. And like I said, because this uses standard Henry tools, so if you've got another Henry with the regular Henry hose, you can still use the tools for that on this electric hose, because you have this little adapter that plugs in like so. So now we've just got the same end you'd get, all being plastic end, but you can fit any of the regular Henry tools, the crevice nozzle, the dusting brush, and where is it, the upholstery brush with the slide on and off brush head. So that's very good. But of course, to use the turbo electric head for your carpets, you need to add the wands. It's a bit stiff. Oh, it's still really new. Please loosen up in time. That needs a bit of a wipe. Right, doesn't really matter which one you put on first, but both of these are electrified. So it's got a metal wand, but plastic ends. I don't know, shall I put the short one on first? Now some pneumatics, the commercial versions, they would have 2 long ones, and I'm pretty sure my larger pneumatic turbo, I think that's the one with the metal top, that I believe came with 2 long ones. You can check back on that video if you've not seen it. So you have to push until it clicks. Oh, it didn't click, but that's in. You have to press the red button to release, and then we can pop the other one in. Again, you've got the red button that fits securely. Press it to release, and again on the handle, another red button like that. No tool storage, is there, on this earlier Henry? In fact, what I want to do first, I want to do the old sealed suction test, so I'll take that off for now. The turbo electric head will stand up on its own. So I will fit this back actually, the little adapter, so we can do a sealed suction test. So a lot of you will know that a modern regular Henry or Hetty will measure 80 on my sealed suction gauge. So it'll be interesting to see how much this 2007 model measures. I think it might be a little bit more powerful. Well, that's a bit surprising. This older Henry is slightly less powerful than the new one. It peaked around 76, 78, so hardly anything in it. But there's a lot of people on forums who say the older Henrys were more powerful. Well, this is an older Henry. I mean, it's not vintage, but it's 2007. He's got a 1200 watt motor and very slightly less power. So Pneumatic have managed to produce a machine with using half the electric, more or less, 620 watts, with still around the same power, suction power anyway, as a 1200 watt machine. And they've always been a lower energy. I mean, back in the day, I remember when vacuum cleaners, the manufacturers were just producing more and more cleaners with higher and higher wattages, up to something like 2,400 watts, which did more to heat your room than it did to clean your carpets. But even before the EU regulations, the Henrys at 1200 watts, I think they would have complied with the initial regulation. I think it was 1600 if I remember, it's so long ago. I think it was 1600 initially, and then it went down to 900. So when Henry introduced their new models at 620 watts, it was way below the current 900 watt limit, and yet they still got, you know, decent suction power considering they only use 620 watts of electricity. So, oh, that's unusual. I thought it might have been about 90. I think I've got some larger pneumatic cleaners that peak at around 90. But this Henry Hound, he's really a domestic version, despite the fact he's got the high-vis cord. This was sold for domestic users. He wasn't really sold to use commercially. But he could have been used commercially, you know. Nothing to stop anyone buying a Hound to use commercially. It's a good job you were saved, though. If you'd been used commercially, you wouldn't be looking as good as this. You still look brand new. Nice shiny bowler hat. Okay, let's. I'll just give it a push. I'll pick up this SIBO powder. Should have dried. I'll put a bit of dirt down and check he's working fine. And then you're going to be boxed back up, ready to go up for sale, I'm afraid. But I'm sure whoever buys you will look after you, because you're quite rare, really, especially in this almost brand new condition. Before I use the turbo electric head, I thought I might as well try out the straight suction carpet and floor nozzle. You don't need to use the adapter for this because it's bespoke to the Henry Hound and the Henry Turbo Electric. It's, as you can see, it's got a longer neck and it's got this sort of squarish fitting, so I can just fit it directly to the end of the wand, like so. Yep, brushes up for carpet. Let's give him a push. I'll keep the suction regulator here. I'll keep it closed for now. See if it works okay. It should do. Yeah, that's fine. I think you can still buy similar nozzles to this now for your regular Henry. And this is the nozzle that regular Henrys probably from this time would have come with, as far as I can remember. They're all plastic base plates now, aren't they? But there's plenty of different heads you can get for your Henry or Hetty, your James, your Charles, your George, your Harry, whatever you've got. Right, we can now plug in the turbo electric head. Let's pop it in from here. Don't have to bend. Make sure it's clicked in. This will be easier to push. Turbo electric head is virtually silent. You can barely hear it above the sound of the cleaner. There we are. Right. He's off at the handle at the moment, but as soon as I start up Henry, I'll switch the turbo head on. Well, I think I could put a frame around this rug and hang it on my wall as a piece of modern art, but by the time I've finished with it, it should be restored to a charcoal coloured rug. So I put some quite clean dirt on this because I don't want to get Henry all dirtied up. He's had a big mess test. So this is just a quick going over. I've got some red lentils, some black bird seed. I think it's Niger seed. The birds didn't like it, so I'm using it for demos. Doesn't really show up though on this. It's better on my cream carpet. And some very nice smelling soap powder. So with all that sucked up, Henry Hound is going to smell very nice indeed. Well, Henry's done a pretty good job of gobbling up all that mess. Oh, he's left a little bit of soap powder there. And naughty Henry, he did scatter a bit of the dirt onto my carpet, so I'm going to have to roll up the rug and pick all the bits you spat out, Henry. You'll not get any pudding if you don't eat your first course. You need to eat all your vegetables and all your lentils. Lentils, very good for you. Very good for your digestion, plenty of fibre there. The seeds, I don't know, they may be good for something. And of course the soap powder keeps all your internals all nice and clean. But yeah, don't eat soap powder, boys and girls. Just eat good, decent food. Try to limit the naughty stuff, really, no matter how nice it tastes. But you've done a pretty good job there, Henry, considering you've been stuck in my garage for 7 years. Well, there you go, Henry Hound. That's your swan song on my channel. Whoever buys you may put you up again on YouTube. And you can have another 15 minutes of fame alongside all your brothers and sisters that I've featured over the years on iBasic. But yeah, you picked up well. You're nice and quiet. One thing I did notice, and this is something that happens really with all the cleaners that I use a converter with, all the American imports that use 110 volts, I do find that the cables get quite warm. So it's always important, especially with a machine with a cable rewind, it's important to pull all the cable out. Because if I was to use Henry for an extended period with most of his cable still wound around his bowler hat, then it could get even warmer and he may have a malfunction. He may get a little bit of a headache. So always pull out the cord, folks, especially if you're using an American machine in the UK, even with the correct step-down transformer. Yeah, it is warm. It's quite a thick cable on this one. It's getting high visi, but yeah. But I've noticed it on all my, my modern Hoover commercial American machines, my vintage Hoover American machines. Yeah, I don't like to use them for extended periods due to the fact that the cable does get warm. Certainly, I don't notice my cables getting warm on my UK version vacuums. That's just something to be aware of. Safety first when you're cleaning. So that's it. This will be up for sale, as I said, on my Facebook. I have got the instruction book. I look back on my original unboxing. So I will have that upstairs with all my other instructions. So he will be supplied with a nice new HEPA flow bag fitted, plus the original paper bags I'll throw in. And of course the original box is a little bit tatty, but it's worth having. And the original box will be packed inside another box as well to protect Henry Hound on the journey to his new home, whoever or wherever that may be. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions about Henry Hound, please comment below. And of course you'll need to follow me on my Facebook page, link below, where you'll see any other vacuum cleaners I've got for sale. Currently, at the time of making this, I've still got that yellow Aircraft Tri-Light, £25 delivered. Nobody seems to want it. I think I'll throw in a Henry hoodie as an incentive, because I'm sure somebody will find it, possibly a Christmas gift for a young vacuum fan. Or the Henry hoodie will be a bit big for them. But, I just need to get rid of quite a few machines. And I'm afraid you take up quite a lot of room, Henry. So you're going to go to a new owner, fingers crossed. So until the next video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye from me, and bye from Henry.